Okay. Let your feet become spongy. Let the muscles change so the whole foot can receive the weight of your body. You don't want the muscles in your feet or ankle resisting your body weight. Let your feet muscles receive. Let your shin be balanced on the bridge of the foot. So find that place where the shin comes down, hits the top of the foot, and then lets the force of the weight of the body spread throughout the whole of the foot. So the whole of the foot, like like the trunk of the base of a tree, spreads out and takes the weight of the tree outwards. So the outside edges of the foot engaged, the heel of the foot engaged, the ball of the foot engaged. Can you see how from the ankle coming down, it spreads out into the whole of the foot on both feet? And when your feet are out at 45 degrees, there's a tendency to have tension here, and especially in the lower back. So we have to work in this posture at softening the muscles off the bones along the ridge of the pelvis. And when we do that, we feel a widening across the rim of the pelvis and a softening. And that allows for release of the weight of the pelvis downwards, combined with softening deep into the hip joints to allow the pelvis to rediscover its buoyant stability. So this is a tucking under, if you like, and a separation from the middle back, so that when I drop the pelvis, this isn't locked together. If it's locked together and the pelvis tilts, what beginners do, because of this tension here that is more rigid, when they try and tuck the tail, their back goes with it. We want to drop the tail, separate between the middle back and the lower back, separate, so that the tail can tuck under or drop away from the middle back, and you feel that lengthening in the spine. In order for that lengthening to happen, all that really needs to happen is the muscles need to soften, because the weight will drop itself into the legs and open up, but it won't open up if we're holding rigid through here. So really important in this posture is to feel as if we're suspended, so that the weight of the pelvis can drop downwards away from the crown of the head. When the tissues of the back soften and detach slightly from the bones can reorganize and move. And you'll find all the spine joints open up under the weight of the center of gravity. All the spine joints open up. And there's a lot of sensation in the back. And if you have a clear model of what we're trying to do with the body, it really helps you understand the sensations, recognize the sensations we're looking for, so that you can feel them in your movement. When we open up to parallel, we lift, we initiate the change in the base. Remember, all the changes in the body are initiated by the letting go in the legs. Feel immediately how the feet feel more connected. The very smallest amount of release in the legs initiates a change where the feet receive the body weight more. So it's an initial relaxing of the muscles, which leads to straight away leads to the feet feeling more connected. When the feet feel more connected, this gives a signal that there's somewhere to keep releasing into. Keep releasing into the feet, keep releasing into the feet, and let the whole body, excuse me, excuse me, let the whole body follow that release into the feet. So it gives it a direction. It's like, I get a sense it's like a corridor. This is moving downwards and into the feet. This can follow downwards. So like a corridor, like a hose pipe, or like a movement, like a channel, if you like, downwards. Everything in your whole body can flow. And when Jin talks about synchronizing the body parts, you initiate the movement in the base and you let the rest of the body synchronize, which basically means join in that flow, join in that flow. So when one part flows, the rest of the body flows with it. It's led by the changes of the base. It's directed by the mind. Syncing is part physical, part mental process of letting go. When we let go, when we release, excuse me, when we release, the stability, do it this way, it's not just one letting go. It's a constant stream of continued releasing, because when you release, you're in a new position that demands something different. And this is constantly monitoring and adjusting during the release, during the release, during the release. Your aim is to settle, and you're making the changes you need to make to generate as much settling as possible. And the settling is giving up the weight of the body, letting your structure support you, so you use as little muscle as possible to hold yourself. We come up and we begin the initiation in the base. We let the band of muscles around the lower back soften and the hip joints release. And we invite the shoulders to follow towards that settling feeling in the feet. So we invite the shoulders to follow into the settling feeling in the feet. We activate the legs, which basically all that means is opening up the back knee. The hands almost stay where they are, lightly suspended, almost at the top. The base changes, the shoulders drop, then the hands follow. So there's a moment where the hand seems to stay still. And the hand is drawn in, not because the elbow drops, but because the shoulder changes. Not because the elbow drops, not because this comes closer to the body. The hand is drawn in by the shoulder movement. The shoulder movement connects the arms. The elbow dropping is something else. Connect the shoulder, then drop the elbow. The hands have to follow. So from the top, connect the shoulder, let the shoulders blend and synchronize with the base. movement. Continue the movement, feeling stable throughout the whole changes. So we're talking about synchronizing the changes in the body all the way through to completion. Open the knees to come up. Release the knees. Soften the band of muscle around the lower back. Look for the sensation in the feet, of the feet pressing onto the ground. The shoulders follow. Soften the band of muscle across the top of the back to drop the shoulders, the hands, and finish. This is applicable in every move. White crane spreads wings. Settle the base. Soften the band of muscle along the lower back. Follow with the shoulder. Connect. Posture. 100% balanced and stable. You open up and then release and connect. Release and connect. You're looking to stabilize and have your shoulder follow the movement of the base to the completion of the posture. The shoulder and arm doesn't move by itself, it follows the base. When we do the let's do another movement into brush left knee twist step. This one we are turning into the posture. So we're sinking and settling the base with the turning movement. As the base releases, the shoulder softens and follows the movement. So the base and the shoulders arrive together. Then there's a small increase or opening of the back knee or connection to the back leg that then comes through to the hand as the mind goes out. So the first is coming, drawing in, and then sending the mind out. Combined with the back knee opening and a reaching out with the fingers while the shoulder continues to release. It's a push through the body. Punch, sinking in, shoulder follows. Once the body is connected, there's a borrowing force from the ground, which is the back knee opening of the back knee. It can be very subtle, and there doesn't have to be forward movement with it. It can be very subtle, it can be more energetic than physical. It's as if you're reaching out, but without leaning forwards, still settling in as you reach out with the fist. Loading up and reaching out. If you want an idea whether it's working or not, you do it against a wall. You don't put any pressure against the wall as you load up. And as soon as you reach out with your leg, you feel the connection against the wall. You feel the connection against the wall grow immediately. And you know there's a spring between your foot and your hand. But when we're sinking in, don't put any force against the wall. When you're sinking in, draw down. Let the force be in your body, not against the wall. Don't let your force be going out. Draw down. If you're a partner pushing into your partner wouldn't feel any forward force. They just feel the quietness of your hands and your body's gathering. Only then, when you want to increase the back leg and open the knee, you've immediately got connected force through to your hands. This is a fairly gross way of doing it, but it's a very clear way of knowing if your body is connected against the wall. Is really useful because it helps you understand, am I tight in my body anywhere? Is my body changing as I settle? Are my hips seating? Are my shoulders following? Am I connected or am I pushing into the wall? Are my feet taking my full weight? Do I feel like I'm a frond of corn? And then as you open up the back knee, can you immediately feel the same force you push into the ground come through to your fingers? Without the wish to push, without the wish to push. This is an indication that you're doing it well. We want this to occur in every move of the form where we borrow the force from the ground. So that means that in every single move we're connected. The finish of every move is to be connected. And to be connected, we need to move in a way that is synchronized. So that the base leads the shoulders and the whole body arrives together connected. If you could say that, if you could say the most at your level of training, this intermediate class, that would be the ideal place to try and aim for in your practice. So if we go from the beginning of the form through to cross hands, we'll look at that in each posture. We start with our best loose, upright, connected posture. We start in a place where our mind or our awareness is simply resting on the body sensations. Know that it's going to be pulled out. Your mind is going to start thinking about other things and you'll follow stories. All those things are fine. Just as soon as you notice, draw back to the body sensations. Keep coming back to the body sensations. Keep coming back to the feet loose on the ground, to the band of softening around the lower back, to the deep seating of the muscles in the hip joints, and the relaxation of the shoulders and the chest. Keep coming back to the sensations of being connected. So we've got a long, mindful quality of resting. And a practice where when we move somewhere else, into the future, into the past, into thought, there's a signal that says, something's wrong, we're not quite centered. Draw back. Draw back to the body sensations. Settle down. Change the connection to the right. Loosen the left legs. Move across. Turning. Activate the left. And settle. When you settle here, look for the change in the base. Look for the change in the upper body. Connect. Activate the legs. Release the base. Look at how when the base changes, it gives an immediate connection of the feet. Look at how the shoulders can follow that. So your base and your shoulders are concertinaing the whole way through the time you're dropping your arms, the whole time you're settling in. Turn. Sink it, sink the base, sink the upper body. as if your back of your hands are against a wall. You need to make sure you're fully connected, and then open the back knee, shoulders relax, arms expand. Make sure this expansion of the arms comes from what you do in the base. Find the front foot, turn. Settle and connect. Make sure your sinking in the base is followed by the sinking in the shoulders. When you sink in the base, when you sink the shoulders, the sinking of the shoulders puts your hands into the correct position. When you sink your shoulders, you open up this space here. You don't just put your hand into position with the shoulders still. You change your shoulders. This changes the elbow position, which moves the arm into position. The whole arm feels connected. This arm feels connected. Hips feel connected and seated. Expand the back knee with the mind going out, as if your hand is against a wall. Immediately feel the connection. Turn, step, sink in. Remember, it's not just move forward, sink into position. Square. Settle. Settle. Let your shoulders follow your base. When you're in the position facing 3 o'clock, and you've squared up to 3 o'clock, and your body feels connected, activate the back knee to turn the hips. This time, instead of bringing the force straight through, you turn the hips. Turn back. Draw back. Square. When you sit back, try not to move across. When you sit back, stay in the center and draw back. When you sit back here, the knee mustn't move backwards. The knee stays where it is and the thigh changes angle. The knee stays where it is and the thigh changes angle. You don't sit back and move the knee. Okay, you don't sit back and move the back knee. Look at my back knee moving. That's not what you want to do. When you sit back, your knee stays in the same position and your thigh changes angle relative to it. So your back knee stays where it is until your front leg is straight. Draw back. That enables your back leg to receive the weight of the body rather than moving and being over your back foot but not connected. Draw back. Stay in the center. This is difficult, okay? This is hard. Make your leg do a lot more work. Try to see what you can do to keep the knee in the same place. The temptation is that you move across. You get your stability because your body is over your foot, and then you've got building blocks of one part of the body balanced on top of the other. That's not the support we want. The support we want are the muscles changing to give us support rather than simply being building blocks. If you stack one thing on top of the other, you will get stable, just like stones on a beach. You see those stones piled up on the beach, balanced, delicately balanced. And it's a nice image, but it's not a dynamic image. Dynamically, we're changing the muscles the whole time we're sitting back. We're going to make sure the ankle doesn't tighten. That's why we do it slowly. We're going to make sure the lower back can open, the hips can seat, and we arrive in the back foot connected. Then we drop the hand to the hip, turn open, turn back, and then we're sinking forwards. And as we arrive, the wrists touch. We're connected. Then expand the back knee to press. When we press, the shoulders sink. This movement to lift the arms, the shoulders, I'm exaggerating the movement, but to lift the arms, the shoulders drop and the hand lift. It's like a lever, small movement at the shoulder, big movement at the wrist. So it's not the same amount. If it was the same amount here as here, the hand would only move that much. But it's not, it's like a big lever. So it's engaged. So as soon as you do a small movement here, you get a big movement in the arm. If the arm's too soft and too loose, then that's the movement you get. But if the arm is engaged, then with a small movement here, you get a big movement in the arm. That's how engaged the arm needs to be. So it's not about it being stiff. You can get the same thing from it being stiff. But take the stiffness out, but keep the engagement the same. And you get a small movement in the shoulder and a big movement along its length. Combine the movement in the base with the movement in the shoulder. Synchronize the sinking with the sinking. And you get the movement, you get the Taiji synchronized movement of the hands. In the form, we're up to push. No, we're up to press. When we draw back, like silk gliding. The hand is like silk. It's like you're stroking something here. You're drawing your bottom hand through your top hand. And the feeling is you're just slightly stroking, like a cat or something, stroking a. The hands only separate when you come forwards. So the fingers are touching here. When the base releases, the shoulders release. When the shoulders release, the elbows draw down and out. This is the hands falling off something. And this is when the hands separate, when you're coming in because you're sinking. The arms need to be long and connected so that when the shoulders change following the base, the hands move. Too soft, nothing happens. Too hard, nothing happens. Just the right quality, and you have this river running through the body, so when the legs change, the shoulders change into the connected position. Here, hips are seated, body's upright, long in the back, small expansion of the back foot through to the hands. Remember, when the shoulders drop, the hands go out. Remember, we did that thing of opening up a piece of paper. This goes back. The crease in the piece of paper stays in the same place. Fingertips reach out. So it's not shoulder goes forward, elbow goes forward, hand goes forward. It's not reach out with the arm. It's drop the shoulder. Well, I think of it like sometimes, I get up in the middle of the night and I don't turn the light on in the corridor going to the loo. And I'm kind of can't see where I'm going, so I just put my hands out in front of me. I'm reaching out and I'm listening in case I hit the wall. or I'm listening, where's the light switch? I'm not really throwing my hand too far forward, and I'm very much aware of what I might bump into. And it's that feeling in the hands. Combine that with the sinking of the body, sinking of the shoulder, and then the expansion of the back knee, and you'll get the same sort of feel. The mind goes out, and that's like walking in the dark. Your mind is out, listening for walls you might hit. Your mind isn't in your feet. You're listening in case you bump into anything. It's very, very similar. Very similar. It's a quiet listening in the dark, listening to the sensations. Push. We sit back. Again, when we sit back, we don't want to move our center across. We want to keep the knee in place and sit back. When we sit back, the hands level off so they're connected. The hands level off, parallel to the ground, and they were in a V position, 90 degrees V position. Now they're parallel like train tracks, level with the ground and parallel. They arrive in this position at the same time as I fully arrive in the back foot. So there are a few things to train here. One is how to move straight back so I stay on the center line in a way that makes me stable. The knee is bending the whole time. The thigh is changing its angle the whole time. But the knee isn't moving. The weight is being allowed to be transferred through the foot in such a way that makes me stable. It's not just about moving the hips, it's about remaining stable as I move backwards, remaining stable. Any movement that I make that makes me unstable is the wrong movement. Any movement I make where there isn't a change in the muscles makes me unstable. So I have to learn to combine my movement, my stability, and my changes. Movement, stability, releasing. Releasing the muscles to allow me to move, enabling me to stay stable. These are the kind of paramount questions for intermediate. Why would you move into a position where you're unstable and think you're practicing Tai Chi? Okay, you see people practicing Tai Chi and they move and they're getting unstable as they move. And I'm thinking, why would you move in a way that makes you unstable? What can you do to maintain your stability and yet move? Maintain your stability in all these different positions. Wherever we go, we're stable. How can you explore to maintain your stability, to maintain your freedom of movement, so that everywhere you move, you're comfortably stable? Then, if you can do it slowly, do it a little bit faster, until it becomes a natural process of understanding your buoyancy in any position, how you change, how you release, how you stabilize, how you fluidly move without losing your base. And you know, I'll lose my base when I do my Tai Chi form. I'll forget. My mind will jump, become disconnected from the movement, and then I'll come back to it. A lot less than it used to happen, but it definitely happens when I do the form. Very, you know, the old one of the old boys was 92 when he died in his final interview, I like this story because he said, I only managed to do one Tai Chi form perfectly the whole of my life. He's 92. He'd been doing it since he was 6. He had a long beard and looked Chinese and was brought up in the culture of it. And he only managed to do one full form the whole way through, where he said he didn't break connection. So it's not about getting it right. It's not about doing it well. It's about being with ourselves, learning to be with ourselves over a long period of time, quietly and comfortably, and then faster and faster and more natural, normal situations that aren't just the Tai Chi form. Tai Chi form is to learn things, to analyze, to have a litmus test, to see, to explore, to repeat, and do the same things until we understand the principles. Then we do push hands, where the principles are changing quicker. Then there isn't any form. Life, daily life, there isn't any form. Can I stay balanced, connected, and present? Where are we up to? Single whip. Posture. Draw back. Stable. Connected. Not over the foot, but in the middle. Fluid. Pressed onto the ground lightly. Make sure the turning comes from the hips. Fold. Make sure this turning of folding the hip joint doesn't change the base. This is folding in. Here, you don't want to bring your front hip forwards. You're just folding your back hip. You don't want to turn forwards and tighten this side. The movement of the hands comes from here. Think like you're polishing a table, not by doing it with your arms, by turning your hips. Continue turning your hips. Turn your right foot in. Continue turning your hips as you smoothly transfer your weight to your right. So you draw back, connect, turn, soften the hip to turn. Keep the same smooth turning going while you transfer your weight across and back to your right, pivoting on the ball of your left. Push position, upright, connected in both feet. Draw back. Fold the hip. Smoothly pass your weight to your right foot while you continue turning. Release the left and pivot on it. So as you turn, your hips, your right foot and your hands are all pointing the same direction. As you turn your hips, your foot's pivoting on the heel. Your hands are following. So your right hand, your right foot, your toes and your right hand are always facing the same direction. And then when you move on to your right foot, your left hand and your left foot are facing the same direction. So we pivot your hips. Your left foot pivots on the ball and your left foot follows the direction of your hips, and your left hand and your left foot are in the same direction. I don't know if you can see it on screen. Here I turn, my right hand and my right foot toes point in the same direction. And then my left foot and my left hand point in the same direction. Have a little play with that. Draw back, into stability. Soften the hip to turn. Keep turning. Keep turning. Make sure your turning doesn't stop. For complete beginners, we go 1, turn, move across, turn. And we do it in blocks. Try and make your best attempt to keep the turning smooth while you don't break the principles. Keep your turning smooth. Finishing 100% in the right leg. Turn. Immediately drop the left hand underneath. Your right hand is in position on the center of the body. Your left hand underneath, holding the ball. Sternum height, 1 span from the sternum, 1 fist from the belly, holding the ball. Turn, hook, turn. This hand comes straight up, like a curve, straight up around a ball. Fingers come to the wrist. This hand stays on the center line, comes up. Hook stays where it is. This hand stays with the center of the body. As the center of the body turns away, it moves with it. Slide out the foot with the turning of the hips. Remember, when you step here, you don't have to step with the outside of the foot facing 9 o'clock. You can step with the heel. Wherever the toes go, they go, and then they follow the movement. They follow the toes, follow the direction of the hips. So if your hips are facing the corner, put your foot down facing the corner. As soon as your hips turn, allow your front foot to pivot on the heel. Sink into the center. As you're sinking, your shoulders follow. Connect. Expand your mind from your back foot out as if you're reaching out in the dark. Issue. Single whip. One of the things about single whip is that the hook mustn't be in a place where your shoulders are tight. The position of the shoulder blade mustn't tighten. When you put your arm square, you'll start to feel tension through here. Where should the hook be? Well, it's different in every person. This is the thing about Taiji. There isn't one rule fits everybody. Where one person can put their shoulder, someone else can put it in further or less far. And we work with moving our position so that we're not locking ourselves up. We're not putting our arms in a position that make us tight. So if I'm facing this way and 90 degrees is towards the screen, I'm quite happy with my arm here because this gives me the maximum freedom. And if I come back more 90 degrees, now I'm beginning to feel it here, definitely here. So somewhere around here is the posture that works for me. And it might be different on the other side, might be different on each shoulder. But by the time you get to your mid-60s, your shoulders, they've done a few things in lifetime and they've got a certain range of movement, injuries, tensions, and these are the things we work with. Being present with our body and listening to what it wants to do. Giving it a very clear set of guidelines to work with. So I hope we were going to get to cross hands today, but we're not. We're only going to get to single whip. Let's go from the beginning to single whip. One of the nice things is the moves we know well, we can really go deeply into. We can really make sure the body connects. And one part of the body talks to another part of the body. We can really make sure we do that in the moves we know well. When we go really nice and slowly, we can go deep into those places, settle into it. And what's nice is what's in one move, the principles in one move are in every single move. Postures might be different, but the syncing might be very similar. The postures might be different, but the coordination might be very similar. So Master Wang used to ask people to show them a move, and after 1-2 moves he'd say, fine, I can see what you do, the mistake you make in one move, or the principle that's missing or not fully joined together or tenuous in one move will be the same in every move. So he just used to look at 1 or 2 moves and he could tell how much a person knew about their Tai Chi. Mainly because of the quality we arrive at in the centrally stable position. If we're connected, if we're loosening and stable, if we flow into it in a way that's synchronized, that's a very good sign of a good level of Tai Chi. I see a lot of Tai Chi online. I see a lot of people come into postures where the outside looks great and the inside is held. And Master Huang used to say people are like uncooked baked potatoes. Great on the outside, the inside is still uncooked. So your postures can look great, but inside not connected, not talking to each other, separate. And we want the inside to be soft like a cooked baked potato. Nice right the way through. Okay, nice right the way through the whole body settled and open, muscles falling off the bones connected. Let's go from the beginning. Feel a widening across the back. Feel a widening across the shoulders. Comes from letting go of the muscles. Let the muscles melt off the bones. And my feeling is that my back feels more arched this way. It feels more curved this way when I do that. When I soften here and I soften up top, my whole back my body feels like it's folding in the middle, at the front, and it's opening at the back. So it's like my fascia is wrapping around me this way. It's like a cushion that's folded like this. So the front of the body is here, everything's folding inwards, and the back is opening. This is what it feels like as I soften through my core and I relax my back. It feels like everything's folding in the center. Doesn't mean the chest is collapsing, just means the tissue is moving inwards, 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 and the back is opening outwards. Like when I soften the muscles, it allows can find a new place to be in the body. All the muscles find a new place to rest. As you move down, stay connected and stay stable. Keep your stability as you transfer your weight. Make the changes you need to maintain your stability and your release your left to move across. Coordinate your turning and your timing. Activate your opening of your back knee to move back. Settle. Initiate the release of the base and the shoulders. Base and shoulders. Every movement increasing your stability, or certainly not disrupting your stability. If you're not settled, don't move on. Find the position where you're settled, then move on. If you move into the posture and you're not connected, reconnect, then move on. Remember, your form is your own. Take your time with it. Look for your best connections. Look for your best stability. Look for your smoothest changes. Take your time. If you're too low, come up a bit. Too collapsed, pluck up the crown of the head. If you're too tight, soften. Look at where you can change. If you're too distracted, draw your mind back onto the body's sensations. If you can't remember what to do a move you know very well. Close up. So I think tonight's class has been a bit more like a recap, more like a workshop than a class to me. Just a recap on the important things after half term. So any takeaways from tonight that kind of struck you as kind of a key thing for your own practice?
Yes, I think I realised that I wasn't moving straight back because my right leg wasn't straight. So I think I was leaning more to the left than I thought I was doing. So it was good to do it at that level and slowly so that, I've noticed that.
So don't be in a hurry to fix that one. It's that's something that is complicating, takes time to get. So you really stay in the middle as you move back is quite a lot of things have to be in place for that to happen. So yeah, be patient with that one. But you can focus on that as the key thing for a month or 2 months and just see how it changes.
Yeah.
And don't overdo it because it'll hurt your thighs.
Okay.
Yeah. And same thing for careful on your knees doing that one as well. Yeah. Careful on the knees. They have to take a lot more weight of the body. They're up for it, but they have to take a lot more weight. Any other takeaways?
I've just managed to unmute myself this side, but I mean, having broken my leg and I am getting pain in that leg.
Right.
It's not super severe, and I can, to some degree, I suppose, ignore it, I guess, because I don't think it's pain that's going to cause damage. I just think with the knee having had such a bashing, it's you know, because you are putting, when you do the moves, quite a bit of, you know, pressure on it,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, I don't know how you can do it without putting
No,
pressure on it.
it's
You
just
know.
I often kind of think a good working pain, if you want, or pressure. When as soon as you stop, it feels fine.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, I can't feel
Yeah,
any pain now. It's only when I'm
yeah.
doing it,
When
I'm
you're doing
aware
it, and
of the feeling.
then it's good because it's putting the muscles
Yeah,
under a bit of weight, and you're also very well aligned at the same
yeah,
time. So it's actually quite good for the body. I,
yeah.
I
I think it's helping the joint, but it's like no pain, no gain in a way. But I mean, on a
yeah,
scale of 1 to 10, it's only about 2. You
okay,
know,
that's
the
good.
pain I'm feeling.
And you
But I
know,
wish,
and everybody moving that slowly feels more in their legs
yeah, yeah,
than when we just walk or something, you know, you feel it more. You do because it is exercise.
yeah.
Tai Chi is definitely exercise. It's not like these I've been getting these things come up on social media of these kind of 55, 60-year-old guys that are kind of completely fit and they say they do 7 minutes Tai Chi a day.
Mm.
I don't know if you've seen those come up on social media. Not the Tai Chi I know. Yeah, I think they're selling it wrongly, but yeah, it is work though. It is definitely work, and it should work the muscles.
Yeah.
So, but you know, if you're still are you still seeing a physio?
No, no, I was under like the 6 months. If I feel like I need to go back, I could go back. But
Or-
I, you know, it's just what do they say? It is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, I
You
just
know.
thought, you know, you might want to check it through with them or show them what you're doing.
Yeah,
Because I'm not medically trained, so I can't.
yeah. I,
I'm
I
not-
did mention to him that I did Tai Chi, and he didn't say, "Oh, don't do that." You know, it's
Okay, right.
you know, I'm sure it's fine. It's not, like I say, it's not damaging it. It's just an injured
Yeah,
joint, and there might be a
yeah,
bit of arthritis that's set up in it for all I know. But I mean, it's just aging, and um,
yeah,
it might even improve. You know, because it's still
yeah,
quite.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that long ago that
Not
I
that
did it,
long ago.
so
It's
it
not
may
that long
well.
ago at all, Kath, is it?
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
sometimes it's 12 2 years, 12 months, 2 years before
Well,
you think,
you'd think a couple of years at our age,
yeah,
you'd think a couple of years to kind of get back to, you know,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Okay,
not stopping doing it anyway.
that's good.
I'm still persisting.
Good. Anything from your point of view, Toby? Because you're not without your operations, are you?
No, no. I always find moving back in a straight line to be quite a hard work, particularly on the left thigh. But it's quite obvious that a slight lack of mobility in the left hip, which makes that movement harder to do. But that's kind of, I know what I need to focus on to improve that, basically.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it'll be a good
Uh,
indicator of when the hip mobility is better, when I can do that movement without it automatically mean the left thigh is complaining about it. So
yeah. The what might make it a little bit easier is you don't have to go 100% back. Right? You don't have to like in that posture here, you don't have to go completely back. You want to go about 90% back so that there's still room. If someone was to push you, you'd still have a little bit of room to maneuver. You don't want to go so far back that you can't possibly go any further back. So go about 90% back. Because if in push hands you always want a little bit of give in order to find the way out. You know, where your center can go around a corner and evade them. You don't want to be you don't want to be in a corner where there's nowhere to go. So the sitting back in a straight line, it isn't to your absolute maximum. It's about 90%. 90%, and the front leg's straight, but you're 90% back. You're not back here somewhere.
Yeah,
That'll make it that much easier.
yeah. I did notice this evening actually. I am still, after all these years, still leaning back a fraction rather than being stacked up straight. So I have to remind myself, head and shoulders above the hips. And that definitely helps by itself, just reducing that tension down the front of the body,
Yeah.
then reduces the work the legs doing as well. So another reminder.
Look at the quality you get when you stand with your heels together, and that quality of being able to just simply let your body weight go and start to become a bit loose.
I hate to say it, but I find that quite difficult in that position. I find it easier when the feet are out at hip width and parallel.
Okay, great. For most people, they're more stable when they're in that position, and they're even more stable when they're in bow stance. So that's why we do it in that position, because it's easier to feel for most people, easiest to feel the loosest. So if you can feel loose standing up, that's the quality you want in all your postures. So you're not kind of on the ground that way. You're actually free to change and free to be changing. Good. Well, keep going. And we'll see. I'll send you the recording. We'll see you next week.
Great. Thanks very much, Lee.
Thank you.
Okay,
See you
nice
next
one.
week.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye for now.